Nigel Tiley, though, has kindly joined us on the phone. Of course, trains this outstanding thoroughbred. And Nigel, compliments of the season to you. Thanks so much for your time. You must be excited heading to Ellerslie today.
Yeah, good morning, Greg. Yep, happy New Year to you too and everybody else listening in. I'm looking forward to him going around today, Greg.
Look, he has been so good in all four runs to date. His most recent performance, going to Ellerslie first time. Your confidence levels were high, but gee, he delivered in emphatic style.
Yeah, he's very professional, Greg. I mean, he just seems to put himself in the right spot in the race, and Sam sat pretty quiet on him to about probably the 250, 300 the other day, when she asked him to go, he certainly, put a gap in them pretty quick.
The way he found the line, that must give you great confidence going forward to the mile. I guess the next question will be post this, can he get a little bit further? But let's concentrate on today. How happy are you stepping to this distance? Because he pins his ears back and he wants to savage the line.
Yeah, look, that was one thing. We were sort of a learning curve with 1400 the other day, and Sam was, she got off him. First question I asked her, I said, will he get the mile? And she said he'll get the mile easy. Absolutely no doubts about that. And I think it'd be fair to say that run has sort of brought him on nicely for today. I think he's going to strip a much fitter horse for his run in the Bone Crusher. So I've got no issues with him getting the mile.
Nigel, he's come up with a beautiful barrier draw of 3 that therefore gives Sam plenty of options. What would you like to see?
Yeah, I just think we need to be a little bit careful that we don't sort of become the horse that leads the rest of the field up to the leaders too soon, because he's probably inclined to switch off a little bit, so you don't want to be left to sit and duck. But look, I'm just going to leave that to Sam. She knows him better than me, so Sam can sort that out. But I just think if he was 2 spots back, it'd be ideal.
The Levin Classic, a clear stepping stone to that, and this horse has been well backed to win that race. What about the preparation building into that, going head-to-head with Harlech? Is he the one you fear going into that race?
Oh, I think definitely. His run the other day was huge. I think if he hadn't sort of had his legs taken out from underneath him at the top of the straight, he probably would have balanced himself up a bit earlier and, hit the line really hard. So, yeah, that's probably our target. I think we have to be realistic when we look at Riadini's pedigree that there isn't really any staying blood in the dam side. I think you've got to go back 2 dams to find something that's won beyond 1,200 metres. So, look, safely through today, we'll give him a couple of easy days, and I think that's when we sort of have to decide whether we go to Wellington and then maybe give him a little break after that, or whether we roll the dice and carry on with the Derby prep. But I'd be thinking it would be the former.
All right, look forward to seeing him, as we do another unbeaten horse in your stable. It is the Barneswood Farm Eclipse Stakes, so always a very competitive race for the 2-year-olds. And Play That Song is 2 from 2, and you've got that boy McDonald aboard today. Yeah,
and I mean it's actually really good having a rider like James on. I know Leeds had a very good opinion of her, from the first time he rode her at the trials. But it'll be nice to get some feedback from James, and then we sort of decide where we go from there. But safely through today, I think the Crack the Million's the obvious choice for us.
Nigel, she's shown her versatility. This is winning at Trentham on a heavy 11 track, and that, of course, was in the Wellesley. I'm sure she wasn't suited to this track, but just showed her class.
Yeah, exactly, Greg. And I think she showed a much better turn of foot when she won at Ruakaka, even though it was, over a shorter trip. But she really struggled at Wellington. She was climbing uphill the last 100 metres, but she's just such an athletic horse that she just dug in there. It actually took a little bit out of her, that trip and that race, so which is why she hasn't been seen since then, leading into today.
Not ideal, Nigel, barrier draw-wise?
No, it's not perfect, especially first time around Ellerslie, but Look, James rang me yesterday. I mean, he's the ultimate professional. He rang me and sort of said to me, you know, what sort of plans have we got the rider, and he was trying to put a speed map together. And look, she's got natural speed, but you know, I'd like to think that the horse inside is probably going to go forwards, and then she can sort of get a drag across with that. And you know, then I'll just leave that to James. He'll sort that out.
Rich Hill Mile, always a cracking race. It is again this year. You've got Demonetisation second up, 16s and 440 for Lindsay Satherley. A frustrating horse at times. You've had your challenges.
Yeah, he's had his setbacks, and he, you know, like he was well and truly on path to be favourite for the Derby at one stage, and he had a small fracture in a fetlock behind, which took us ages to find it. Look, if that track is a genuine dead four going into that, you know, going into that stage of the day, I think, you know, the race the other day's definitely improved him. He looks fantastic, and you know, his track work rider Jenny Whiteside said he just feels amazing. So if it's a you know, a dead four, I think he's great each way value, especially with no weight on his back and from the draw. All
right, that first up run, you were happy enough with that, and look, Ellersly's no problem, has been a feature race winner there before.
Yes, exactly, and he ran it, and I was really happy with the run the other day. I mean, he hasn't raced since he went to Queensland, and he picked up a bit of a bug over there, and sort of had a bit of a lung infection at one stage, which certainly didn't help him. So, you know, and he hadn't trialled going into that race, so it was a good run. He had 60.5 on his back, and he only sort of he didn't give it away. He kept going, but Sam was pretty soft on him over the last couple of hundred when he got a bit tired. So. But I know the run's improved him out of sight, so I'm looking forward to him going around next year.
All right, the stable's absolutely flying. I think you're like 15 from under 100 starters, so that's typical of you. You don't tend to like to go to the races unless they're ready to win. One horse I did want to ask you about was Melt, and when we're likely to see her again.
Yeah, look, she's in the paddock. We made the call. We were going to set her for the railway. But we made the call that we thought that, you know, looking at the weather forecast, the tracks were going to be a little bit too firm for her. So her run at Tauranga was very encouraging. So we said, well, look, we'll tip her out and we'll bring her back for an autumn campaign when we're going to get a little bit of cut in the ground, which is what she needs. So yeah, I was really happy with her when she went out, and you know, I think she's just going to thrive with a month off. And yeah, we'll get her back for the autumn, and you know, hopefully she can find her best form.
Nigel, really appreciate your time on the Punters Lounge with Valachi Downs. You've got the three runners going to Ellerslie today. Best of those, is Ria Deeney going to continue on his winning way?
Yeah, look, I'd like to think so. I couldn't be happier with him, Greg. He's actually improved out of sight since the Bone Crusher. So, you know, and he's so professional. I know it's a stronger field, but I think what he's got in his favour is a good draw, and he's and his racing manners. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him today.
Nigel, thanks so much for your time. All the very best.